Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be going over some Miami Dolphins news of late, breaking down the training camp. Before we get started, though, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. Really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, let's dive right into it. I hope you enjoy. So a little bit of a different setting for me than a normal video. Sorry for the shaky camera. Using my phone here, but nonetheless, I just want to talk about some of the Dolphins news coming out of training camp. Some of the big things to highlight. We're going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa and his success. We're definitely going to be talking about Albert Wilson. We're going to be talking about Xavien Howard as well as a few other things. Firstly, with Tua Tagovailoa, he's been throwing the ball really, really well of late. Really finding his receivers really well. And he's looked a lot better than how he looked last year. If you remember, Dolphins fans, last year, what we saw from Tua Tagovailoa was a lot of underneath throws, a lot of throws that didn't really get into the second level of defenses, didn't really tempt the defense and really hurt the defense deep downfield. However, in camp, we've continuously seen Tua Tagovailoa throw that deep ball accurately, with power, with strength, and with finesse over the top, as well as using his faster receivers. And that's where I'm going to talk about Albert Wilson a little bit. But also Jaylen Waddle, too, has had a pretty solid camp. Both those guys have really shown their speed and their explosiveness, especially Albert Wilson, who has been one of the, arguably the best, actually he has been the best Dolphins wide receiver in training camp. Once again, sorry for the shaky camera. He has by far been the best Dolphins wide receiver, Albert Wilson, consistently making big-time catches, big yards after the catch guy. And remember, when he was healthy a few years ago, he was a really big impact player for this Miami Dolphins team. So with that said, I really like what the Dolphins have in place here on the opposite side of the football. Another thing, right, going back to Tua, right, he's been throwing the deep ball really well of late. I really like what he's been able to see, really accurate with the football. Not a lot of interceptions coming out of camp. Those are what most reports are saying. Has really been thriving in those red zone drills, really completing his passes to his bigger targets. And sure, Devontae Parker has struggled with some injuries, as well as Will Fuller has struggled with some injuries. Those guys have not been consistently healthy so far in training camp. But I've really liked what I've seen from Tua Tagovailoa. He's accurate with the football, looks a little bit more confident, great leader. And I think all the things are really coming together for him. Wide receiver-wise, Jaylen Waddle, really good after the catch. That's what we've seen. We've seen the speed. We've seen the burst, as well as, guys like Albert Wilson, too. And I think Albert Wilson, the speed on this Dolphins wide receiving core is just outrageous. And we've seen that in training camp consistently, defense getting burned over the top. More on the offense. The offensive line, I think, is coming together a little bit. They're still trying to plug and play guys where they're going to have them. They don't quite know yet. It's still up for grabs, especially a guy like Liam Eichenberg. They definitely want as a starter. They just don't really know where he's going to play yet. Is he going to play left guard? Is he going to play tackle? That's still up for grabs. Solomon Kinley looks to be a guy that might not get a starting job from what I've seen. But offensively, it looks like the offensive line, it's coming together, but it doesn't really, I don't still think it's going to be a high-level offensive line yet. So I think it's still a few guys away, maybe a few years away from really being one of those better offensive lines in the league. And sure, it's getting better, but I don't think it's quite there yet. Tight end wise, obviously Adam Shaheen, with the COVID situation with him, he hasn't decided that he wants to get vaccinated yet. Miami Dolphins are pro-choice for vaccinations, so he doesn't have to get vaccinated. But that's just some news on him. Gesicki looks good. Hunter Long got injured the other day. We'll see what that ends up being. But overall, this offense is going to be good next year. I really believe that because Tua looks good, wide receivers look good. Sure, the running game hasn't been fantastic, and the offensive line isn't exactly where it needs to be yet, but I think this offense will definitely improve just with Tua playing better football. He looks really confident with the football, and Brian Flores is really happy about what he's able to do. Defensively, obviously, Xavien Howard coming back, absolutely massive. I was really nervous, really stressed about that whole contract situation with Xavien Howard, but I'm happy that that's over, and he's going to be back with the Miami Dolphins for the next few years. Basically, what ended up happening is the base contract is the same. There's just a few more incentives. I think he makes $1 million if he makes All-Pro or the Pro Bowl, as well as some other bonuses for interceptions, as well as some other incentives that is going to potentially add up to about $4.5 million in contract incentives per year over the next few seasons. So that's a big reason he came back. Really good to see. I got really scared that the Dolphins were going to have to trade him away to get value, but nonetheless, he's able to stay in Miami. And remember, that secondary is going to be absolutely fantastic. More on the defense. The defensive line has been absolutely fantastic too. Christian Wilkins has been really good. But overall, the pressure that's been getting to the quarterback has been good, but more importantly, the defensive line, especially in the run-stopping game, has absolutely owned the offensive line. These are good things to see. You want to see that defensive line really thrive. You want to see the secondary thrive, especially guys like Xavien Howard. I think those are really good things to see. In the backup secondary, right, guys like Javon Holland, back of the secondary, Javon Holland looks to be really good. He had an interception a few days ago in practice on Tua Tagovailoa, so that's good to see. But, backup corner-wise, this team is very deep in backup corner. Obviously, they have Nick Needham. They have Noah Igbenogany. They have Justin Coleman. Justin Coleman looks to be a really strong candidate for that slot guy. Noah Igbenogany, he looks like he's been practicing with the second-team guys. Once again, I think it's just more development for him. He's still really raw, but he's got the raw tools and the raw skills to be a good corner. I love what Nick Needham has to bring every single time. I think he's going to be hard to move from that slot corner, but I think it'll end up being Justin Coleman. Personally, I think the defense is set though, with guys like Jerome Baker, obviously. I think that this defense will be right where it was last year, among one of the better defenses in the league, just because of all the big turnover guys that they have, especially Xavien Howard. Him being back is absolutely massive. But that's pretty much what I've seen defensively. More importantly, though, the offensive side of the football, Albert Wilson has had a really strong camp. Tua Tagovailoa has been really strong. And if these guys can continue playing well, especially Tua Tagovailoa, and the Dolphins can start to get that offensive line sorted out, I think this team can definitely be a contender next year. Just because, they have a lot of talent. They're a young team. They're well coached. And I think that training camp so far has gone really well for this Dolphins team. Especially also, Jason Sanders. He's been absolutely fantastic so far, too, making field goals. And I mean, he's one of the best kickers in the league, but that's no real surprise there. But that's really the Dolphins news so far in training camp. I'll probably make another video at some point, maybe later in training camp as we get closer to the season. Maybe some preseason videos. I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm kind of in a tough situation to make videos. Not really in the right spot right now.
And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.